Hi, Chris here with a user request to compare the Chuwi Vi10 against the Surface 3. It's not really a fair comparison because we're talking about a huge price difference here between these two machines. One's a premium tablet, both of them are Atom power, but one has a new Cherry Trail, which is what the Surface has. That's the Atom X7Z 8700. It can clock up to 2.4 gigahertz. And on the other hand, we have the Chuwi Vi10 here. Now this has a Bay Trail CPU, which can clock up to 2.16 gigahertz. That's the Atom Z3736F. So they have different hardware configurations. We have a 32 gigabyte and 64 gigabyte storage options. Both of these are eMMC drives. And in the Surface, you get 64 or 128. And they do have similar kind of speeds there. Both of them are eMMC drives, but I'll get down to that and those differences shortly. First off, I'll just show you the screen. Between both of them, very large difference here when the quality of the screen. So we have a fully laminated display here on the Surface 3. It's a really bright screen. It can get up to 415 nits of brightness without the sensor on. There's a light sensor up here that can adjust the screen automatically, but if you turn that off, you can get the maximum brightness out of it. So we have a look at here. This display has a 213 pixel density, so it's quite a sharp display. It has the 3:2 ratio, so it's good for looking at websites and documents. Now the Chuwi, on the other hand, it has a lot lower resolution. This is the 1366 by 768 resolution, 16 by 9 screen. So it's good for looking at movies because you're going to have the whole movie's going to fit the screen without any borders like you get on the Surface 3. And the pixel density is 148 approximately, almost. So it's not as sharp looking. And when you have a look at the screen size and in the keyboard and the build quality of the Surface 3, it's in another ballpark completely compared to the Chuwi, which is $140 the Chuwi and an extra $23 for the keyboard. Now the Surface starts at $499 and up to $599, which is the 4 gigabyte model, which is this model right here. And if you have a look at the build quality, it is definitely superior to the Chuwi in all ways. You've got this lovely aluminium ceramic finish unibody. You have the 3-position kickstand, which is really good. And that's the last position there, so you can sit the tablet right back like that. Which is really good. It's actually, I find it's better than the Pro kickstand. The Pro kickstand, if you were pushing on the screen, could actually end up pushing back by itself because it wasn't a fixed position. And you do have one USB 3 port on the right hand side here, and you have display port out. Now this can output up to 4K, I think it is. I run a 1440p monitor and I have no issues. On the Chuwi, you've got 1080p maximum there. Then both of them have the Windows button on the same side, on the right hand side there. And when you have a look at the keyboard quality of the Surface is great. It's excellent. I mean, this is top notch, the best Atom tablet here, not Android. You have Android on the Chuwi though, it's dual boot. Very good keyboard, good touchpad, if a little bit small. And the keys are pretty good to type on there. You have a nice felt backing on the back of the Surface 3 keyboard there, and that docks up and clicks in really nice. The nice strong click there, and you can fold the whole thing up into a package just like that right there. Good for travel. Now onto the Chuwi's build here. It's slightly different. We have glass on the back, glass on the front here, docking ports on the bottom just like the Surface. We have a metal band around, which is quite a nice finish. Speakers left and right. And at the top there's a metal band also just along here. And we have a glass back on it that is very prone to fingerprints and smudges, as you can see there. Look at them all. If I reflect them in the light there, there's a lot of smudges over there. You have one thing though that the Surface doesn't have, and that is 2 USB ports here. Okay, the Surface does have a USB 3 port, but we have 2 USB 2 ports. And technically a third. This doubles as a third port if you use an adapter there. So that's not too bad. We have HDMI out and with a maximum output of 1080p. So I can't run my monitor at the full resolution. And the keyboard is a keyboard stand case combination here. So we can prop the actual tablet up using this here by just clipping it in like so. Again, it's another magnetic docking situation there. So it just clips in. You do have some angles here that you can adjust the screen at. So if you move the back stand around a little, you can get a few angles here. And it will be stable there at that angle. And I could move this up a little and allow for more of a steep angle there. So there's a little bit of adjustment there, but really not much at all. Now the keyboard is actually not that bad at all considering the price. Typing on it is quite good. I do like it because there are the individual keys. And the trackpad is a little bit larger than the Surface. But the quality overall of this keyboard is nowhere near the Surface keyboard. Of course, it's a much more expensive keyboard. It's more premium. And this is a cheap dual boot tablet here. Now the screen on the Chuwi is quite bright as well. That's the full brightness right there. It's not too bad. And from this distance, the screen looks sharp enough. If you look at it closely, you can see individual pixels. If you're holding it, just a couple of inches away from your face, then you are going to see those pixels there. So you do have to consider that the screen difference is huge between both of these tablets. And what I've almost forgot to mention is there's also a backlit keyboard here on the Surface, which the Chuwi doesn't have. So there's a big difference there. If you need a backlit keyboard, then, well, you've only really got the Surface in terms of these kind of convertible tablets here. Now I'll show you how the Chuwi folds up. It's just like that. And there we go. It's a nice, neat little package there. And the thickness of the two is similar. Put them side by side. The Chuwi is actually a little bit thicker there, and the Surface definitely more compact there. The size of them both here, not really that much different in terms of portability. You can see there. Now if I bring in my scales here and just have a look at the weights between the two. Chuwi is just over a kilo there, so that is 1.037 kilos. And the Surface comes in at a lighter 893 grams. So it's a little bit lighter there. So in terms of performance, there is a large difference here. So when it comes to single threads, single core score here in Geekbench 3, there is around about 81 points there difference, and the larger difference when multi-threaded. So you can see almost 1,000 point difference there. Graphically, it's a lot faster as well, the newer Atom. It has 16 cores, whereas the Bay Trail has only 4 executional cores there. So it's definitely a lot slower. There's about a 40% difference between them there, Surface being much faster there. Now if I have a look at the drive speeds, there's not really that much in them. The Surface slightly faster write rates there, and the Chuwi is just a little bit faster there on the read. But when it comes down to the random 4K, you can see here that there's a definite advantage there on the Surface. Now if I show you, hopefully it's going to load 3D Mark on both of the systems. Show you the 3D Mark scores here. You'll see just how great of a difference there is between the GPUs on the older generation Atom versus the newer one. So we can see here on the Chuwi that it's almost 1500 there, so sorry, 15,000. And we get 25,000 points here on the Surface 3. So there's a massive difference there in terms of 3D performance. If you're going to be running games or anything like that, then it's a lot faster on the Surface. So there we have it. Obviously the Surface is a much faster machine, has a better design, higher quality, but it also costs about 3 or 4 times more than the Chuwi Vi10 here. Now the Vi10 also has one little trick up its sleeve here, and that is this. I can simply push this here and boot right over into Android, something that the Surface of course can't do and will never do, because there's no way that Microsoft would let their Surface officially boot over to Android. That's never going to happen. So here we can see that now the Chuwi is in Android 4 there. So that gives it a bit of value for money there, because you really have 2 tablets in one there. So that's a comparison there of the Chuwi Vi10 versus the Surface 3. Never was a fair comparison there, but that's just to give you an idea. And hopefully that covers the question there from the request, asking if I could compare them both. So there you have it. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll hopefully see you in my next one.